I mean, why can't you comment on whether or not this was a US bomb? Is that a matter of policy, or is it because you don't know?
Tom, we just can't speak to individual weapons loadouts on Israeli aircraft. That's not something for us to speak to. This was not a U.S. operation, and we are not. We don't have boots on the ground as it relates to this conflict. And I will let the IDF speak to their investigations and their findings.
Yep.
Broadly, of course, the United States has a broad and robust security relationship with the government of Israel. That is certainly no secret. But when it comes to speaking as it relates to individual operations, we're just not going to do that from the U.S. government, and I defer you to our partners in Israel to speak to that.
I mean, it matters though. You're a spokesman for the U.S. government. If this was a U.S. weapon, as has been widely reported, and all the publicly available images are suggesting, there's obviously a locus of interest for you and potential responsibility, given the catastrophic deaths and the way that people were killed in this incident after an Israeli airstrike. So I'm just trying to understand why. I mean, have you looked at the pictures? Do you have?
Tom, it's important. Let's not conflate multiple things here. First, as it relates to the origin of the weapon that was used, its operations. That is true. That is our belief, regardless of whatever the weapon of origin is, and that is something that our Israeli partners can speak to in their own investigation.
I think my question is just more about whether you know the origin of this weapon and you can't and won't talk about it, or whether you don't know.
That's just not something I'm going to speak to, certainly not from the State Department. What you're talking about, if you want to get very technical, is
no, it's not technical.
The specific weapon
every
used
weapons
in a specific
expert
operation.
At these images has established that it's an American weapon, so it just seems a slightly peculiar position not to be able to.
I'm just not going to speak to specific weapons payloads.
Okay, and just on the, I think there was a bit of confusion perhaps on Monday about the location of the tents and the fire, and where the bomb or the bombs were dropped. And certainly the aerial images that have emerged since then appear to show the structures that were attacked very close to quite a lot of tents. The Palestinian journalist that took the photos of the tail fin and the electronics board of the weapon says that a child told him he found the electronics board in his tent, which would suggest a close proximity of the tent to the strike. So have you got any further 3 days on now about proximity?
We don't unfortunately have any additional information, Tom. That's something we're continuing to engage with our partners in Israel. We have been told by the Israelis that it is conducting an investigation. We want to see that happen thoroughly, swiftly, and transparently. And as I said, looking into these kinds of things, making these kinds of assessments are critical to ensuring that the IDF avoids similar tragedies in the future.